If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I constantly am trying to keep you updated on what's going on with these after-school Satan programs. I have been since I started my channel 6 years ago. So for the new people who are here, this might be something new to you. You might not even be aware of the fact that the Satanic Temple is attempting, not really attempting, they are getting their way and getting into schools, but in reality what they're really trying to do is get the Christian programs taken out of schools, the ones that are actually remaining, because some schools do have after-school programs where there are Bible studies being done. So what they try to do is they try to maneuver their way in, get people mad, and they say, look, if you can have a Christian after-school thing, then we can have a Satan one because that's our religious freedom. And then what happens is people talk about it. They decide, all right, you know what, we'll pull the Christian program because we don't want our kids indoctrinated with Satanism. Or in some cases, some of the schools actually allow both to be there because they actually believe what they hear. I'm going to show you this in a second with what's going on in York, PA, another state where they're actually having a vote about whether this should be allowed or not. And the reality of the matter is their vote doesn't mean anything, because if they vote it down, the Satanists are going to sue the school board and say, hey, you have a Christian program after school, you have to have a satanic one because that's a religious freedom. That's the whole point of what they're doing. They are trying to remove all traces of Christianity in this country. That is why they go after the Ten Commandments on state property. That's why anywhere that has anything that's mentioning the Bible on state grounds, they go there with their Baphomet garbage. Everyone thinks it's a publicity stunt. It is not a publicity stunt. The purpose is they're trying to exercise religious freedom to remove Christianity. And what they do, of course, is they present themselves as an organization that doesn't believe in Satan, even though their name is the Satanic Temple. They use the pentagram. They use the Baphomet. I mean, it's so idiotic that people fall for this. It's beyond idiotic, but are we surprised with the way the world is now? How stupid people are? That'd be like us going around going, hi, we're Christians. We don't believe in God, Jesus, or the Bible, but we are Christians. People would go, huh? Because these people go, well, we're Satanists, but we don't worry about it. We don't actually believe in Satan. We just support all the things that that Satan would support. The LZQ, the Planned Parenthood, all of it. So here's York, PA.
People in a York County community are expressing concerns over an after-school Satan Club, a program offered by the Satanic Temple that could find its way to a local elementary school.
Fox 43's Chelsea Johnson explains how parents of the students are feeling.
They already took, God out of schools, but now they're going to allow Satan in. It's just crazy.
Parents expressing their outrage over the after-school Satan Club.
This is very concerning to me. Anything that has to deal with worshiping Satan is bad news.
The After-School Satan Club is a program offered by the Satanic Temple. There are currently 4 of these programs operating in the country, including in Ohio and Indiana. Pennsylvania could be their next landing spot at Northern Elementary School.
We believe that Satan is a great metaphor for rebellion against tyranny and is the embodiment of a lot of the values that we espouse.
According to Satanic Temple co-founder Lucian Greaves, a couple of parents in the Northern York School District asked him to start the program. He says it is designed for kids aged 5 to 14 with the mission, quote, to promote self-directed education by supporting the intellectual and creative interests of students.
Well, the curriculum focuses on the scientific way of thinking to reach solutions. Like I said, as a non-theistic religion, we don't advocate for any supernatural points of view.
While Greaves says this isn't an organization that worships Satan or promotes any sort of religion, one mother says that is not an excuse for a program like this.
Once they open the doors, if it gets approved, even though it's not my school district, now you're opening the doors for all school districts to allow this.
On Tuesday, the Northern York County School District Board will vote on the approval of this program. An agenda item Greaves says the board does not have control of.
If they deny us the use of the public facilities, which they have no right to do, it'll have to move into litigation, costly litigation, that the community is going to have to pay for.
Greaves believes the board's vote on this matter is unconstitutional, citing a 2001 Supreme Court ruling that allowed religious groups to meet at public schools. Either way, there are plenty of people not on board.
It puts a bad taste in your mouth from the get-go just from the name.
Chelsea Johnson, Fox 43 News.
So again, this is just the most frustrating thing about this, other than the fact that obviously they're going after kids and they're using these as also gateway promotions and organizations, or I mean gateway, I guess the word would be a gateway program for kids to get indoctrinated with things like I've said it for years. They use things like Ouija boards, Dungeons and Dragons. Now we see it in all these cartoons. Well, we've always seen it, but more than ever with the amount of cartoons and things out there and kids programming out there, it's just filled with witchcraft, sorcery, and Satanism. So they do that. But this is also a program where they would indoctrinate with the values of Satanism. So people would think, oh, they're going in after school Satan program. They're going to eat bats and all sorts of drink blood and all that stuff. Well, this is what Satanists do. And they, of course, pretend that they don't. But in these programs, what they would do is indoctrinate them with the core values of the occult, which is what they're trying to do to our entire country, is make it a satanic country. Mystery Babylon. They're indoctrinating people with all of the things that, look, the Satanists follow the Bible, the opposite of the Bible. So every law and every commandment that God has, they do the opposite. To be indoctrinated, or not to be indoctrinated, to be initiated in Satanism, they have to break the 10 commandments. So you know what that means. And of course, they get away with those things too. They don't get tried. These people are scot-free in this country. And if you've watched my channel, like I said, for years, I've covered even some of these trials and these things that have happened where Satanists were arrested. And then, of course, they went to jail or they were tried and they got out. Like the West Memphis 3, which people, even Christians, are indoctrinated and actually believe the narrative that HBO gave about how these kids were really innocent and good people. Meanwhile, the guy got out of jail. He is now practicing witchcraft and sorcery and indoctrinating people all over. He's best buddies with Johnny Depp, who's one of the highest ranking Satanists in Hollywood. I mean, it's unbelievable what they get away with, but they get away with it because this is Satan's world. So while the Satanists are taught and perform all the opposite deeds of the Bible, they are indoctrinating the nation with that. And then in these school programs, they are indoctrinating them with all of the core values of Satanism, where people would say, well, see, that's not really about Satan, though, supporting the LGBT. That's just them being really good people. Oh, them supporting Planned Parenthood, that's not about Satan. That's about them caring about women's rights. Meanwhile, they don't realize that these are core values of Satanism and the occult, and they always have been. Now, I think one of the things, too, with all this stuff that makes me lose my hair, well, I'm not losing hair in case I was wondering. I have a good head of hair. But makes my hair go white is the fact that these people will constantly come out and talk about how they don't worship Satan. And like I said earlier, I mean, you know how asinine that is? You call yourself the Satanic Temple, right? And then they're like, yeah, but we don't believe in Satan. And people are just like, oh, okay. Like this article that is linked to this story, which is pretty much just the generic article that all of the places in PA that are reporting on this will say, the Northern York School Board will consider a proposal to create an after-school Satan club at the district's elementary school at a board meeting Tuesday, April 19th, which just occurred. Despite its name, the club is not devoted to Satan worship or any kind of proselytizing, according to Satanics co-founder Douglas Mesner. The after-school Satan club, oh, wow, they called him by his, interesting. They didn't call him by Lucien Graves. The after-school Satan club, a product of the Satanic Temple, does not teach religion, according to Mesner. It teaches students aged 5 and 14 about rational and scientific ways of thinking. So that is what they've gotten away with Satanism these days, is they call it science and they call it rational thinking, even though really what it involves is zero thinking, and it involves tolerance, because that's what Satanism is all about. It's about doing the most vile things and then telling us to be tolerant of those things. That's what they want to indoctrinate kids with. They want to make kids think that this is normal, that LG and Planned Parenthood, all this stuff is normal, and this is the right thing to do as a human being, and it's part of being a good human being. It's all deceptive mind control practice, right? And then they come out and they go, but we don't believe in the devil. like I said, I mean, it's like us going around going, hi, I'm a Christian. I don't believe in the Bible. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in Jesus. I don't believe in any of it. I just claim to be a Christian because I like those letters in the alphabet. And I like that word. It sounds nice coming out of my mouth. What? Huh? Or any other religion, right? Muslim, oh yeah, we don't believe in Muhammad. I mean, what? People would just be like, then how are you identifying as that? But in this world, in this country, and with Satan, of course, this makes perfect sense to people. Somehow, they believe Satan, the ultimate liar, the ultimate deceiver. We all know that, right? The Bible tells us this, and that's what everybody's supposed to think when they hear Satan. Oh, he's evil, he's wicked, because he is. He's a liar. But people forget about the word liar, and the Satanists walk around lying about who they are, and everybody believes it. They're just like, oh, they claim they don't, so we're going to believe it, and we're just going to be completely stupid and say, yeah, come into our schools, and try not to understand what they're actually trying to do. This is really what it is, what they do, is they take advantage of the laws that are in place, and they manipulate them to their advantage. And their advantage is, look, do they want to indoctrinate people with their satanic beliefs? Yeah. But are they going to go into a school and do that? No. But what they're going to do is they're going to treat the rational thinking and all this stuff will be stuff about you're not good. You know, all the stuff we see the liberals teaching and what they want to do and teach in schools is what they want to do. But their ultimate goal, like I said, is to get Christianity removed everywhere. They've done things like this with cemeteries and crosses at cemeteries. Well, if there's a cross at cemetery, that's not fair because that means that why are you putting crosses out for the soldiers, right? You guys heard that before? Well, Satanists are people who are, obviously behind it. Why are you putting crosses out? That's not fair. That's not religious freedom. Who says that these people are Christian? Why do I have a cross? Why do I have a cross? Well, then we want to put Baphomet, right? So then people go, oh, what is this? We don't want Baphomet. All right, then just get rid of the crosses. And then they smile and walk away, and people don't realize that that's what their end game is. Destroy religious freedoms. And that's what they're attempting to do. In the name of Satan, of course, but without worshiping Satan. Oh! I mean, I can't even believe some of this stuff that I actually read. So they say, again, he says we believe that Satan is a great metaphor for rebellion against tyranny. I mean, these people are, oh yeah, the liberals are the ones who are all about tyranny and all about all the mandates and all about all this stuff. And then they go, well, no, it's science, even though it's just total contradictory. And the whole thing is just unbelievable what we see going on in today's world. The Satanic Temple believes that religion can and should be divorced from superstition. Satanic Temple holds the basic premise that undue suffering is bad and that which reduces suffering is good. I mean, give me a break. The satanic mindset is do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Okay, and that doesn't just go for the Satanic Temple. That goes for the Church of Satan as well. And like I've said in a million of my videos, the great thing about it is the two of them hate each other. The Church of Satan and the Satanic Temple can't stand one another. I think the Church of Satan believes the Satanic Temple is a ripoff, which it is, really. But the Satanic Temple is funded by the Central Intelligence Agency, and nobody can convince me that they're not. They get tax exemption right off the bat, but they're not a religious organization, but they get a tax exemption, right? I mean, what? They don't believe in any, I mean, they believe in science. Like, what? Huh? None of it makes any sense, and of course it doesn't, because this is, the world that we live in, where Satanists can tell everyone that they believe in the banana and the gingerbread man and the Dairy Queen, and people are just like, oh, okay, but they know, they're just good people who care about people's rights, and we shouldn't believe that they worship Satan, even though they call themselves Satanists. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Not to mention the symbolism and stuff that they use, which is all associated with the occult and Satanism, but nobody wants to put one and one together. So this is in York, PA. They're going to have a vote on it. No matter what the vote is, it doesn't matter. Wherever they target, when the Satanists, the Satanic Temple targets a school, they end up winning because it's a win-win for them. So all they need to do is find a school, and that's what they do. A school that has an after-school Christian program that teaches the Bible. They target it, they go there, and they go, we're coming in. And the whole point is to say, oh yeah? Who says who? And they go, well, you have Christianity, you're going to have this now, because that's what the law says. And then they go, no, we don't want you. And they go, all right, well, then we're going to sue you, and you're going to have to either bring us in or get rid of the Christian thing. And they always just say, might as well get rid of the Bible study. They can go to church on Sunday or go to Sunday school or whatever, right? And that's what ends up happening. And again, it's about removing Christianity from the face of the earth. That's what the devil wants to do. That's what we see being done, and that's what this ridiculous organization continues to try and do. A reminder, check out the website at callforuprising.com. It's $2.99 a month. I hope to see everybody over there. I want to thank everyone here for your support. I appreciate all of you greatly. God bless you and your families.